Full-body scanners, pat-downs, and metal detectors. The National Transportation Security Board takes a number of precautions to keep passengers safe. But the bottom line is, even with last year's $7 billion budget, much of which was tax dollars, these precautions are not working.
TSA officers failed 95% of the time during undercover operations designed to test their ability to detect explosives and weapons at airport security checkpoints.
According to a classified report obtained by ABC, undercover agents from Homeland Security, called Red Team investigators, posed as passengers at some of the busiest airports around the country. Out of 70 attempts, the TSA failed 67 times. Following the release of those details, Secretary of Homeland Security Jeh Johnson has been swift to announce changes. First, a demotion for former TSA Director Melvin Caraway. Caraway was replaced by his deputy, but those changes are likely temporary. Earlier this year, President Obama nominated Coast Guard Vice Commandant Peter Neffenger to take over the position, so it's possible we could see that come to fruition in the near future. Jeh Johnson has also called for other changes that will reinforce both TSA technology and officer training.
He wants more random testing of security checkpoints, intensive training and retraining for TSA agents, and more equipment checks of the scanners and detection machines agents use to make sure they are calibrated.
Although, as officials have said, the findings are concerning, in a statement, Jeh Johnson seems to make an attempt to tame the backlash and ease potentially worried passengers, noting Red Team investigators have been in place for 13 years to find holes in TSA security. He said the numbers in these reports never look good out of context, but they are a critical element in the continual evolution of our aviation security. We take these findings very seriously in our continued effort to test, measure, and enhance our capabilities and techniques as threats evolve. Security expert Bruce Schneier talked to MSNBC and said these are issues we've seen before, but also, this time around, it's been more public and less, as the TSA calls it, isolated.
2003, there were similar reports. 2006 in Newark, there's a 90% failure rate. There have been lots of tests over the years that have been pretty bad. The TSA has only been able to spin it as isolated incidents, isolated airports.
Another aspect critics are pointing to is the importance of stopping potential terrorist threats before they even make it to the airport.
The vast majority of plots are thwarted by good intelligence, not pat-downs.
All of them were stopped by going out, investigating, sharing information, and discovering plots long before they came to fruition.
One instance where we saw this happen was with 2006's liquid bomb plot. However, as that was one of the largest security operations of its kind, one could argue it's not comparable to the types of issues we've recently learned of. One of the more alarming instances in this recent report was when TSA agents patted down a Red Team member. They still failed to find the hidden explosive.
It's been reported one undercover agent was stopped after setting off an alarm at a magnetometer. But TSA screeners failed to detect fake explosives taped to his back during a pat-down.
Later this summer, Homeland Security will release the full report with more details that could require further changes within the TSA. For Newsy, I'm Jasmine Bailey.